This is the Brilliant Budget. I've been on a road to 10K for over 200 days now, and I've invested at least $10 a day to get there. So far, I've only made about 26% of the way through, but I wanted to show you the portfolio that I had and why I invest in each. Right now, I'm definitely down so far as the market dipped recently. However, I still have high conviction in my investments, and I just wanted to show what I invest in and why. First, I invest in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still a small investment overall for me, and while I'm down quite a bit, Bitcoin has historically shown that it's able to recover quite well. As you can see on the long-term map, it's already kind of went up and down quite a bit throughout history, and a dip like this is not uncommon. It's not unforeseen, and let's be real, it's going to happen again and again as it keeps slowly going up over time. That's how I feel like it's going to go, and that's really why I've been sticking with Bitcoin overall. But my biggest investment right now is VTI. VTI is the whole stock market ETF from Vanguard, and I have really high confidence in it as it does represent the whole market. A lot of people go through and they do buy the market when they go through and invest, and as you can see in the 5-year chart, it's done really well over the past 5 years and even past year as well. And even if you look back over since inception, almost 500%. And it's not bad at all. A 10% gain in a year is great. Over 5 years, 60%, that's great as well. I don't need to go super extreme with my growth. I just need to go through and have consistent growth. And I think going through the full market and actually having it is a great thing to have. And while I could go with VOO and have a lot of the just S&P 500 as the main thing, I wanted to go through and actually have the full market there, have some mid caps and small caps included as well to get that benefit. As you can see, a lot of their bigger stocks such as Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, and a few others are all part of their really high weights, and it makes sense as the bigger companies do have a bigger impact on the market. However, I actually still like this as these companies have grown a lot over the past few years for a reason. It's because they're actually impacting the market overall, and I don't regret having VTI whatsoever. Right now, I'm down a bit as I transition in, not during the best time, but let's be real, over the long term, it's going to be perfectly fine, in my opinion. My next investment is SCHG. It's my second largest investment at 14%, and this is my growth exposure in my portfolio. Right now, I'm down a bit, 7.47%, which is, it's not great, but hey, it's been a rough year so far in 2026. Overall, I think it's one of those ETFs where it's a lot more aggressive. Imagine VOO, but on steroids, pretty much. It's really top heavy. Nvidia, instead of being 6% like in VTI, it's 11%. Apple's higher, Microsoft's higher, Amazon's higher. All of the bigger funds take up a lot more. As you can see, the top 10 make up 57%. So yeah, the big tech and even some of the medical from Eli Lilly will go through and really influence the SCHG, which as market as has gone down, it's been affected quite a bit. However, in the long term, it's gained quite a bit here, as you can see since the beginning. Was my bad. I'm gonna go back here. Since like 2010, it's grown 871%. VTI has grown less in the same amount of time, and it's shown just through having those big players that really do grow. It does make a difference, and while this will have higher volatility, I'm willing to take it because it's actively managed by Charles Schwab itself, and I feel confident that they're going to do pretty well overall. The expense ratio is not too bad either, which is another great thing here, only 0.04%. You don't want high expense ratios unless you're really going for a very specific fund. The next one I'm investing in is the FDVV High Dividend ETF. I invest in this as I want some stability as well. FDVV has done really well. Since 2017, 2016, it's gone up by 137%, which it's really good considering the fact that a lot of these other ETFs have also went up around the same. It's grown this much in price while also giving dividends, which just shows that even with SCHG going up, and let's go here to look at it, in 5 years it's grown 77%. This grown 74%, so 74%, but this is also paying a dividend. So if those dividends are reinvested, you're probably doing even better overall total return. Now, if you go through and look at the top holdings, a lot of these ETFs will keep having the big players here, but you see that they start having different players such as ExxonMobil, JP Morgan Chase, Coca-Cola, Hershey, a lot of those more defensive stocks that are there. They're going to make money, and they're going to pay a really good dividend. That's the reason why I invest in them. And they go through, and I believe they rearranged their portfolio around February too, so I have to see if they've actually updated it recently. But year to date, while a lot of other funds have gone down, this actually has gone up, which is an amazing thing here. It's actually held up my portfolio a bit because it's actually been green, unlike others. But my next investment in one of my highest conviction stocks right now is NBIS. Right now, they are a data center company that is really primed to grow. They have a giant multi-billion-dollar investment, or not investment, contract with Microsoft, which is really good for them, as Microsoft is a very, very big company and really shows that they are able to have the trust of a giant tech company. If you get the trust of a giant tech company, then others may follow as well. And I believe they also have a $3 billion agreement with Meta as well. So this is not just a one-off thing. They do have multiple very big tech giants working with them. It's about 9% of my portfolio, and I'm up quite a bit from it. I've also technically grown more from it, but I've sold it in the past and rebought it. So that's the case there. But as you can see, it's grown a lot over the past year as they went from a small player to completely gigantic. But as you can see, they had that IPO, went down a lot, and then went through and finally regrown over the past few years. But they also have a big X factor, which is the fact that they own ClickHouse and AV Ride, which is first a competitor of Snowflake, Data Blocks, and a few others. And that's about $4 billion worth of money right there, while we also have to consider the fact that they own AV Ride as well, which is a competitor to Waymo, and can be used in Uber as well, which will really give them a lot of extra opportunities as autonomous vehicles really become a thing. They have a few other holdings as well, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's a really strong company, and I really believe that they're going to do really well and really execute. They're originally a Russian company that divested off, and I believe they have a lot of the smart engineers that stayed with the company that really kept them going strong. Novo Nordisk used to be my highest conviction stock, but it's really hurt me over the past month with their revision to their guidance. However, I do still believe in the GLP-1 market. A lot of the weight loss pills, obesity in America, all that stuff is very big, and I don't think this issue is going to stop anytime soon. While I'm down quite a bit in this stock, I do have to consider the fact that this Wegovy pill could be really strong for the company. The guidance that was given before was also a pretty rough one, going from down 5% to down 13% year over year in 2026. However, we do have to consider the fact that they're being very conservative. They believe that there's a price war happening with Eli Lilly as they go through and have the second quarter oral Wegovy pills that come out. However, if you consider the fact that they have a ridiculously low PE ratio, they still pay out a decent dividend, and they're still primed to grow, I think it's still a company that's pretty dang good. While yes, the growth prospect is possibly limited at the moment if there is a price war with Eli Lilly, we do have to consider the fact that, hey, they do have that first mover advantage, and they do have tons of people who got the Wegovy pill. It may not actually be a race to the bottom as they expect, especially with them suing HIMSS and really pushing them down as well. They're not having as many compounders taking their pills. Maybe if some of the platforms such as Row and Weight Watchers really go through and do well, that also helps them. They also have Amazon Pharmacy taking their pill as well, which gives a big distribution for their pill across all 50 states. Root was one of my original high conviction stocks. It's a car insurance company that uses a lot of the technology that tracks your driving to give you a much lower rate because they know that you're a good driver. They're not the company that goes through and helps people who are terrible at driving. They're the people that actually want to get the really, really responsible drivers, give them low rates, but also they have ridiculously low loss ratios on par with Progressive. They're actually profitable at the moment, as you can see right over here. They're actually profitable as a company, but also as well, they're still growing. They have deals with Hyundai right now, and they also have deals with plenty of other companies such as Kickoff and Carvana as well to really distribute their car insurance. That's very big for their growth, and I believe that over time it's really going to keep them strong. I'm going to maintain my belief in them, even though I am down pretty bad right now. I think as earnings come through and they really prove that they can gain revenue, that they're going to stay strong. Amazon is almost a given when it comes to the growth. There, as you know, Amazon is a very strong company, and I think it's just undervalued right now. Their retail business is the biggest one in the country, and as robotics come through and really help them out, as well as AWS growing extremely fast, I think they're just going to keep going through and staying strong. And over time, I think the market's going to realize this and give it a lot of love. I'm not going to explain too much further because, honestly, it's Amazon. It's kind of self-explanatory there. So BLOX is a newer ETF that came out last year. And while, yes, if we look at their current losses at the moment, it doesn't look the best. However, you do have to consider the fact that this is tied to crypto. This is my crypto exposure in the market, but it's also a weekly paying ETF. While yes, they do go through and they have a high expense ratio at 1%, it is my exposure to a lot more crypto that I don't feel responsible holding on to. I don't want to deal with a lot of the wallets and exposure with all that stuff. So if I go through and have this, it's going to help me long term. While I guess it's down right now, a lot of the other Bitcoin and crypto ETFs are down so much more. And I think in the long term, this is going to completely outperform because this is actively managed and done really well. I really respect David Nicholas with a lot of his investing, and I think watching his X profile and seeing his explanations on things, I think he's really going to manage this quite well. LMND is another one of my high conviction stocks that I'm going to keep adding on to. Right now, they're down a bit. However, in the past year, they've grown like crazy. I was originally a doubter thinking, oh, they're not profitable yet. It doesn't really matter. But I have to really give in to the hype there because they're really growing like crazy. I see their ads all the time, and they're really pushing the growth in a lot of insurance areas. Unlike Root that has just auto insurance, LMND is in all different insurance areas. Pet insurance, home insurance, auto insurance. And auto insurance is a big one that's growing as well. They're doing a lot of the same things as Root and really integrating AI in their claims, that they're really handling claims in a very efficient way, that unlike traditional insurance companies, they're going to go through and be a lot more efficient than others. And as they grow, they're going to be able to be more profitable, like per policy, with a pretty low loss ratio as well, which is the very big X factor for them. I think their process and efficiency is going to make them a very strong company. They just have a baseline of expenses that they have to go through before they actually blow up and become profitable. Once they do become profitable, I think it's going to blow up from there. Margins are going to explode, and they're really going to keep doing better and better over time. AMD is the second place chip maker, and while a lot of people would invest in NVIDIA, I think AMD is the better bet. NVIDIA already has $5 billion market cap or something crazy like that. AMD is a lot smaller. It's at $331 billion, a fraction of the size. However, being second place in a big game such as chip making is still great. They can go through and still grow a ton. And they got beaten down by the market in the past month as well, as you can see with their earnings. I think it's a great time to keep buying. They had a decent quarter, and while things weren't as good as the market wanted, I think they're just hoping for absolute perfection, and you're not always going to like blow things out of the water. That's just not how the market is supposed to go. That's not how reality is with a lot of business. But they're going to go through and they're going to expand their margins. They're going to keep doing better. And I think as a second place player, the market's big enough for multiple players to win. And AMD has a lot more room to grow than NVIDIA does, in my opinion. UiPath is my last investment. Overall, it's been beat down a lot in the market lately. And I'm down pretty bad, like 30%, which it's not great, but it is what it is there. It's a small allocation, and I'm not going to be hurting too bad if I lose absolutely everything and goes to zero. But Path is one of those small, high-risk, high-rewards plays where they are using robotic automation to help with things such as invoices, life insurance claims, health insurance claims, stuff like that, to go through and process them to make sure that the process is a lot more automated and smooth. They actually integrate AI agents into the automated process, so it's not just a brainless process. It's able to identify if things look weird, and they're able to have people intervene when there are the unique cases, instead of having tons of workers going through and working through these when a lot of them should be kind of a super easy push through. It is a high risk, high reward play, but it is what it is when it comes to if I win or lose with it. But that's overall what my portfolio is. Please let me know in the comments if you think my portfolio is good or if you think it's bad. Please roast it if you really think it's bad. I'd like to know more than anything, because this is my road to 10K. I do want to get there, and if I'm learning some lessons along the way, that's a great thing to have.